Close your eyes, breathe gently, and know what you seek is not far from you. It is within you. Healing is not a distant event, but a present reality waiting for your recognition. You do not heal by effort. You heal by acceptance, by assuming that you are already well. The body responds not to struggle, but to assumption. Every cell listens to the tone of your inner voice. What are you whispering to yourself? Begin here. Trust. Trust is not passive. Trust is an act of creation. When you trust, you align with the invisible currents of wholeness. You are saying, "It is done. I do not need to beg. I do not need to worry. I only need to rest in the knowing that I am." Healing is not something to chase. It's something to allow. In meditation, return to that sacred place within, where you already are whole. Close the doors of the outer world. Go within. Visualize your body glowing with light. See yourself walking in strength, breathing in peace, speaking with clarity. Feel it. Live it. Claim it. Affirmations are the voice of your inner God, not mere words, but creative decrees. Do not speak as one hoping. Speak as one who knows. Say, "I am whole. Every cell in my body vibrates with health. I trust the divine order of my life. Healing is mine now." And as you speak, let emotion rise. Let joy find you. Let peace flow like warm light over your being. For what you feel, you attract. And what you accept, becomes. Your body is not separate from your mind. It is the canvas upon which your beliefs are painted. Paint well. Choose thoughts of harmony. Choose visions of vitality. Choose to see yourself as already renewed. Let every meditation be a journey back to your true self. Let every affirmation be a reminder that you are not becoming healed, you are remembering that you already are. Most people look to their outer circumstances for confirmation of healing. They wait for the doctor's report, the physical evidence, the signs from the world to tell them it's time to feel better. But this is to move backwards through the creative process. The world does not cause your inner state. Your inner state causes the world you see. What you vividly imagine, especially in times of stillness, becomes the pattern that your body begins to follow. You must dare to see yourself as already healed before a single symptom disappears. In your imagination, walk as the healed person. Breathe as they would. Feel the calm strength in your body. Hear the voice of confidence within you. Use every sense, sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, to make this inner picture alive. When you do this, something powerful happens. Your subconscious accepts the image as truth and begins to reorganize your entire system around that truth. This is not daydreaming. It is not idle fantasy. It is creation in its purest form. The world calls it imagination. The wise call it vision. It is how all transformation begins. Every invention, every work of art, every moment of healing, each began first in the unseen realm of thought, feeling, and vision. The body listens. It listens to your thoughts, your inner conversations, and the images you dwell on. If you constantly imagine illness, talk about pain, and rehearse worst-case scenarios, the body will respond with tension, fear, and often disease. But when you begin to reverse this, when you intentionally imagine life, health, joy, and energy, the body relaxes. It begins to follow the image it sees repeated in the mind. That is why healing through imagination is not a matter of trying harder, but surrendering more deeply. Let go of the outer facts for a while. Withdraw your attention from what the senses scream at you. Enter your secret sanctuary within. In this space you are free to create what you desire. Not what is, but what is desired. You are not bound by appearances in your imagination. There you can be whole now. You can feel good now. You can rise, smile, and speak from the place of healing, even if the outer world hasn't yet caught up. This act of inner seeing is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual law. Your life will always rise or fall to meet the image you hold of yourself. So hold a strong one. Hold a radiant one. Choose again and again to dwell in the image of your ideal, and the body will begin to harmonize with it. You cannot fake this. You must feel it. You must believe in your inner world more than you believe in the temporary evidence of your outer one. It is your imagination that speaks to the infinite, that communicates directly with the creative force of life itself. Use it with reverence. Use it with consistency. And watch what begins to change, not by force, but by alignment. Healing begins with one decision: to no longer let the outer world dictate your inner state. From there, you choose the image of wholeness. You dwell in it, you walk in it, you feel it as if it were already done. And by divine law, it must come forth and to exist now. You are already healed. In the eternal now, there is no delay, no waiting, no future moment where healing will finally arrive. It is not something coming down the road, not something being earned by effort or time. It exists now, in this moment, fully formed in the invisible realm. The truth of who you are is wholeness. The only thing missing is your recognition of it. Healing is not something to chase. The moment you seek it outside of yourself, you have stepped away from the truth. The body may present symptoms, the mind may hold fear, but these are only reflections of old assumptions, patterns of belief that have been accepted and repeated over time. They are not the final authority. What truly governs your experience is your state of consciousness, what you accept as true right now. In the eternal now, all things are present. There is no past to relive, no future to await. There is only awareness. And in awareness, if you accept the state of being here, your world begins to shift to reflect that truth. Not because time has passed, but because your assumption has changed. To assume the feeling of being whole is to rise in consciousness above the facts. It is to look past the pain, the diagnosis, the worry, and to say, I remember who I am. You do not need the world to confirm it. You do not need others to understand. The moment you accept this inner state as true, something begins to rearrange. Healing does not come from effort. It comes from identification. If you identify with being unwell, even if unknowingly, your reality will echo that. But if you identify with being whole, even in silence, that silent knowing begins to shape your life. There is great power in assumption. It is not pretending, it is not lying to yourself. It is aligning with the truth that already is. The eternal now holds all possibilities. In this moment, you can tune into the version of yourself that already walks in peace, already breathes with ease, already lives in balance and harmony. That version is not separate from you. It is you, without the layers of fear, doubt, and memory. You were never broken, only taught to believe you were. And now, you return, not by fixing yourself, but by awakening to what you have always been. Wholeness is not earned. It is revealed. Feel it. That is the key. Do not merely say the words. Feel what it means to be whole. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the calm knowing that nothing is missing, nothing is wrong. Rest in that feeling. Let it saturate your mind, your breath, your body. When you dwell in that state, even for moments, you are no longer reaching, you are receiving. This is how transformation occurs, not by waiting for better news, but by becoming the bearer of new assumptions. You assume wholeness. You assume wellness. You walk, speak, breathe, and think from that place. The outer will catch up. The body will respond. The world around you will begin to rearrange itself to reflect what you hold as true. So right now, let go of striving. Let go of hoping that healing will come one day. Say instead, it is here, it is now, it is done. The eternal now holds no delays, no conditions. It only holds what you accept. The invitation is simple. Stop trying to get healed and start being healed. Live from the end, not the middle. Feel from the answer, not the question. Trust the unseen more than the seen. And what you feel with conviction in this eternal now will unfold effortlessly into form. You are already healed. Walk in that knowing. Meditation aligns you with the infinite. In the silence beyond thought, beyond striving, beyond fear, you meet the source of all creation. It is not in doing, not in forcing, not in fixing that true healing arrives. It is in returning to the center, to the deep stillness where your being is whole, untouched, and complete. This is the place where all things begin and where all things are resolved. The world trains us to look outward, to search for solutions, to run toward results. But the moment you close your eyes and turn within, you step into the realm where time and form lose their grip. You enter the field of the infinite, where all states of being exist now, and where healing is not something to create, but something to remember. Meditation is the gateway to this remembrance. It is not an escape, it is a return. In stillness, you do not beg for healing, you become it. You no longer argue with your symptoms or try to rearrange your outer conditions. You simply allow yourself to rest in the truth that underneath all appearance, you are already whole. This resting is not passive. It is powerful. It is the stillness that moves mountains, the silence that brings clarity, the quiet that restores every cell of your body. You were never designed to carry the weight of the world in your mind. Your natural state is peace. Your essence is harmony. But in the noise of life, this truth is often buried. That is why meditation is so essential. It is the daily practice of remembering. Each breath in awareness is a return to your true self. Each moment of stillness is a letting go of false identity and false limitation. And as the layers fall away, what remains is not a broken or incomplete version of you. It is your divine essence, shining and whole. Healing does not need to be summoned. It needs to be allowed. It is always flowing, always available. But we resist it when we live in the chatter of fear, the tension of control, and the belief that we must earn our wellness. Meditation removes the interference, it clears the static and reattunes you to the natural rhythm of life. And life, at its core, knows how to heal itself. As you sit in stillness, do not seek anything, do not try to make something happen. Simply become aware. Aware of the breath, aware of the silence, aware of the energy that surrounds you and flows through you. This awareness itself is alignment. It connects you with the infinite mind, the divine intelligence that formed you and sustains you. When you sit in this place long enough, something beautiful begins to unfold, not from effort, but from surrender. You will notice your thoughts softening, your emotions releasing, your body relaxing, and more importantly, you will notice that your sense of self expands. You are no longer the person trying to heal. You are the awareness in which healing is natural, constant, and inevitable. This is the power of meditation. It reveals to you what is already true, that you are not separate from the divine, that the infinite is not somewhere far off. It is within you, as you, now. And in this unity, miracles become normal, restoration becomes effortless, and peace becomes your foundation. Do not underestimate the silence. It is not empty, it is full of wisdom, guidance, strength, and healing. When you return to it, again and again, you will find that the life you once tried to control begins to flow with grace. The healing you once chased begins to manifest on its own. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned. Meditation is not a luxury, it is your home. Return to it daily, not to change yourself, but to remember yourself. And in remembering, healing becomes not a destination, but your natural state. Affirmations must be felt, not just spoken. It is not the repetition alone that changes your world. It is the feeling behind the words. You are not trying to convince a distant power or recite a magic phrase. You are speaking from the place of power within you, the divine center that creates reality through assumption and belief. Words saturated with conviction become law. You can repeat a phrase 1,000 times, but if you do not feel its truth, you are only echoing emptiness. Real affirmation is not about quantity, it is about quality of belief. It is the sacred act of assuming a truth so deeply that the outer world must conform. You are not begging, hoping, or persuading. You are declaring. And the one to whom you declare is yourself. When you say, I am healed or I am whole, you must speak from the end, not from the lack. If your heart still clings to the absence, the pain, the fear, then those are the energies you continue to affirm, even while the words on your lips say otherwise. But when you say it with feeling, with stillness in your heart, and vision in your imagination, something shifts. You become the very thing you declare. Emotion is the carrier of assumption. It is the bridge between idea and reality. When you feel the truth of your affirmation, even before it appears, you activate the creative power of your inner world. You become magnetic to the version of life that matches your state. The words are not the cause, they are the vessel. It is the feeling that gives them life. To speak an affirmation correctly is to dwell in the state of its fulfillment. You do not speak of a thing, you speak from it. You feel the outcome as already yours. You sit in the calm, knowing that what you have spoken is done, and the world will rearrange to reflect it. Let your affirmations become sacred declarations. Say them with reverence, with presence, and with the tone of one who knows. Not because the world has confirmed it yet, but because your imagination already has, and that is enough. The outer follows the inner, always. Affirming I am abundant, while feeling anxious and desperate, does not create abundance, it strengthens lack. But when you say I am abundant, with peace in your chest, with gratitude as if the evidence is already before you. Now your words take root. The soil of consciousness accepts the seed when it is dropped, in faith, not in doubt. You must understand, your subconscious mind hears not just your words, but the tone beneath them. It responds to feeling, not form. It obeys the emotion you pair with your statement. Say it flat, and it remains dormant. Say it alive with belief, and it begins to move mountains. Speak your affirmations in the stillness of the morning or the quiet of night, when the mind is most receptive. Close your eyes, slow your breath, and speak not to get, but to become. Become the healed, the whole, the abundant, the beloved. See yourself as already in possession of the truth you affirm. Feel the peace of it, the joy, the relief. Let that be your practice. You do not need 1,000 affirmations. You need one, spoken with such inner conviction that it feels like a prophecy. You are not just reciting, you are commanding. Not from force, but from knowing. And in that knowing, all things align. Affirmations are not about sounding strong. They are about feeling strong. They are not tools of the mind alone, but instruments of the heart. Let every word carry the frequency of your desire fulfilled. Let every sentence be saturated in the energy of already having it. That is when you stop speaking to the world and start speaking as the world you wish to see. And then your words become flesh. Trust is the bridge between the seen and the unseen. It is the invisible thread that connects the desire to its fulfillment, the imagined to the manifested, the inner world to the outer. Without trust, you wander through life attempting to control every detail, growing weary with doubt and frustration. But with trust, you rest in the knowing that all things are working together. Though unseen, they are not undone. Trust is the power that holds the unseen reality in place until it appears before your eyes. So many delay their manifestations not because they do not desire them, but because they do not trust. They affirm with their lips but cancel with their doubt. They pray, then check the world to see if anything has changed. And when it is not, they say, it didn't work. But trust is not impatient. Trust knows that what is planted will rise, not on your time, but in perfect time. Trust is not looking for signs, it is the sign. The moment you truly trust, your inner world softens. Anxiety fades. You stop grasping, stop forcing. Stop trying to figure it all out. You understand that your work is to assume, to feel, and to know, and then to walk in peace, as if what you desire is already yours, because it is. The world you see is only a reflection of your inner state. And when you live in trust, you shift the cause. You no longer react to appearances, but respond from your deeper knowing. The outer may still look unchanged, but within you have crossed the bridge. You are no longer trying to get, you are simply allowing what already exists to meet you. Every desire is already complete in the unseen. When it arose in your heart, it came from a deeper place than logic. It came from the infinite, through you. And the moment you claimed it, it was done. But you must trust this unseen fulfillment more than you trust the temporary evidence of delay. Delay is not denial. It is simply the rearrangement of the visible to match the invisible. When you worry, you step off the bridge. When you question how or when, you block the very flow you ask to receive. But when you trust, deeply and quietly, you invite. You create space for life to meet you where you are. You become the calm observer, no longer in resistance, no longer in fear. Trust is not loud. It does not argue or explain. It is the silent agreement between you and the source of all things. It is the steady voice within that says, I know it is done. And that voice, once believed, becomes the reality you walk into. To trust is to remember who you are. You are not separate from the Creator. You are not powerless. You are not chasing miracles. You are the place where miracles begin. You were given the gift of imagination, not to tease yourself with fantasies, but to create realities. And the only price to pay is belief, faith, trust. So when you imagine your healing, your abundance, your peace, hold to it with the quiet strength of trust. Do not waver, because the world is slow to reflect it. Time is not the measure of truth. Your inner knowing is. Feel it. Live in it. Speak from it. And above all, trust it. For what you trust in your heart will become the law of your life. Doubt delays, but trust invites. Doubt argues, but trust agrees. Trust is not waiting, it is receiving. It is walking as though it's already done because it is. You are not here to force the outcome, you are here to align with it. So let trust be your foundations, let it carry you over the unseen waters, let it hold you when the evidence is thin. Because trust is the bridge that never fails. And once you walk it with confidence, the unseen becomes seen. Every time. Your self-concept is the foundation of your health. You do not experience life as it is. You experience life as you are. And how you see yourself, what you accept as true about your body, your mind, your spirit, shapes every cell, every response, every outcome. You cannot carry a self-image of weakness, fear, or disease and walk in wholeness. You must rise in consciousness and see yourself as already vibrant, already restored, already whole. There is no outside condition that defines you unless you claim it. The body responds to the mind's instruction, and the mind listens to your concept of self. If you see yourself as fragile, you become so. If you see yourself as a victim, life will mirror it. But if you dare to hold the vision of yourself as divinely supported, healed, and strong, even in the face of contradiction, you send out a new instruction, and the body listens. The body is not the cause, it is the result. And the root of that result is always the state of being you occupy. Healing begins when you shift your identity. When you say, I am whole, not out of wishful thinking, but out of knowing that your true essence cannot be broken. You are not the illness. You are not the diagnosis. You are not the limitation. You are the awareness behind all of it, and that awareness is eternal, pure, and powerful. You cannot remain loyal to the image of being unwell and expect health to find you. Healing begins the moment you drop the false self, the one that identifies with pain, struggle, and lack, and return to your true self, the one made in the image of the infinite, the one who knows that wholeness is not something to attain, but something to remember. Your self-concept is a seed, and whatever you water daily becomes the fruit you live by. So begin to nourish a new identity, one where you are no longer chasing healing, but embodying it. One where you no longer see yourself as broken, but as constantly regenerating, constantly aligned with divine intelligence. When you see yourself this way, not just occasionally, but habitually, you change the entire field around you. You see the entire field around you as a head of destiny. And the world lives in bliss when you change the entire field around you. The body hears what you say about it. Every time you affirm, I am tired, I am sick, I can't heal, you are imprinting that identity into your cells. But when you speak with power, I am vibrant, I am alive with energy, I am divinely guided to full restoration, you open a new pathway and the body will begin to follow. This is not about denying symptoms, it is about denying their authority. You can acknowledge pain without becoming it. You can observe imbalance without naming it your identity. The shift happens when you place your attention not on what is wrong, but on what is eternally right. The truth of who you are beneath the noise. The mind may argue. It may say, but look at the evidence, look at the reports, look at the mirror. And still you must say, I do not live by what I see. I live by what I know. And I know that I am not limited to this moment. I am more than this body. I am the one who directs it. Self-concept is not fixed. It is fluid. It can be renewed, rewritten, resurrected. You can build a new image starting today, one that radiates strength, wellness, peace, and joy. And every time you return to that image, in thought, in meditation, in affirmation, you breathe life into it. See yourself as whole, not someday, but now. Feel it, believe it, live from it. Let that vision grow so strong within you that it dissolves every lesser thought, every fearful suggestion. Because what you consistently accept as true becomes the life you live. You are not here to chase healing, you are here to become it. And when you see yourself as already aligned, already radiant, already renewed, the body cannot help but follow. Healing is not a distant event, it is a present reality. It begins not in the body, but in the mind, in the silence, in the truth you dare to accept about yourself. You are not a victim of circumstance or diagnosis. You are the operant power, the center of awareness through which life expresses. When you imagine healing, feel it, trust it, affirm it, and align with it, your world shifts. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. This is the secret. You are not becoming healed. You are remembering that you already are. In the eternal now, nothing is missing, nothing is broken. Assume that feeling. Walk in that knowing. Let your self-concept rise to meet the version of you that is already whole, already vibrant, already free. You do not need to force anything. You only need to return to yourself again and again until that truth becomes louder than fear, deeper than doubt, and stronger than any condition. Healing is not outside you. It is who you are. Thank you. May your trust grow deeper, your affirmations ring truer, your meditations reveal more peace, and may your imagination never again forget its power. Close your eyes to the world you see and open your eyes to the world you create. Tonight, as you lie in bed, you are standing at the gateway of transformation. You are not just resting your body. You are reprogramming your destiny. Because what you accept as true in your imagination becomes what you experience in your reality. Wealth is not outside of you. It never was. Money, luxury, success, they are not things you pursue. They are things you attract by the person you believe you are. Yet, before sleep, you assume the feeling of being wealthy. if you feel the joy of financial freedom, the ease of abundance, the satisfaction of your desires already fulfilled, you have planted the seed. And the seed must grow. You do not need to beg the world for riches. You are not here to chase. You are here to become. The world bends to the image you hold of yourself. So tonight, stop wishing for change and assume it has already happened. See yourself living in the home you desire. Feel the weight of wealth in your wallet, the freedom of time, the joy of being a blessing to others. Let your imagination create it in vivid detail. Smell the leather seats. Hear the keys jingle. Taste the food at your favorite restaurant. Laugh from the overflow of it all. Do not worry about how. The how is not yours to know. Your role is belief. Your role is assumption. Your role is embodiment. The bridge of incidents will appear as needed, but you must walk the world in the knowing that you already have what you once sought. Each night you enter the sacred silence, and in that silence, speak boldly, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am prosperous. Not someday, now. Feel it so deeply that you smile in your sleep. Feel it until it becomes natural. Repetition makes it law. What you impress upon your subconscious tonight becomes what you wake up to tomorrow. So tonight, don't drift into sleep passively. Step into it consciously, with clarity, with purpose, with the awareness that you are the master of your inner world and that your outer world must follow. You are wealth, you are success, you are more than worthy. And as you sleep, your new world begins. The truth is simple, yet it escapes many. Your world is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Everything you see, every experience you live through, is a mirror of your internal state of consciousness. The outer world is not a cause, it is an effect. It is not the initiator of your circumstances, but the reflection of what you persistently believe, assume, and feel within yourself. Consciousness is the only reality. All change, all manifestation, all transformation begins within. Most people live backwards. They react to the world around them, assuming it has power over their feelings, over their destiny. They believe that circumstances dictate their lives, that they are subject to forces outside their control. But this is illusion. The moment you understand that your inner world is the source and the outer world is the projection, you step into your true power. You are not here to fight the shadow. You are here to change the light within. Just as a mirror only reflects what stands before it, so too does your reality reflect what you hold deeply and repeatedly in mind. If you persist in believing you are unworthy, you will meet people and situations that confirm that unworthiness. If you assume you are constantly struggling, you will see evidence of that struggle around you. But if you dare to assume wealth, peace, and power, the world must mirror that belief. This is not about pretending or wishing, it is about embodying. When you change your consciousness, your deep-seated assumptions, the feelings you habitually live in, you change your life. You are not separate from the reality you experience. You are creating it every moment through the state you occupy. Everything begins in imagination. That which you see in the world first passed through the unseen chambers of thought and feeling. Someone imagined the home you live in. Someone imagined the clothes you wear. Everything that surrounds you was first a conception in the mind, then made visible. So too with your experiences, your relationships, your finances, your health. They are all the outpicturing of your inner convictions. To live wisely, you must become aware of the thoughts and feelings you dwell in most. What do you believe about money, about success, about love, about yourself? These beliefs are not hidden. They are revealed daily through the life you are living. If you do not like what you see, the answer is not to blame the mirror, but to look inward and change the image you are projecting. When you understand that consciousness is the only reality, you stop waiting. You stop hoping. You stop trying to manipulate the world outside. Instead, you go within. You enter the silence. You imagine the life you desire with intensity and feeling. You assume it is already yours. And then you rest in the knowing that it must come. Not by force, not by willpower, but by spiritual law. Do not ask whether it is working. Do not look for signs. You do not plant a seed and dig it up every day. You trust that the invisible work is already done. You maintain the assumption. You live from the end. And the world reshapes itself around your new identity. Your job is not to fix the world. Your job is to see rightly, to believe rightly, to assume rightly. The world is a mirror. You are the source. And when you change the inner film, the outer projection cannot remain the same. This is the secret. This is the power. You are not a victim of life. You are the author of it. Rewrite your assumptions, and you will rewrite your future. Wealth is not something you pursue, it is something you embody. It is not found in the frantic chase, the endless hustle, or the tireless effort to get more. True wealth begins as a state of being, a quiet and confident awareness that you are already abundant. It is not about what you possess materially, but what you assume to be true about yourself. When you understand this, you stop running toward money and begin attracting it through who you are. To live in abundance, you must first become abundant in thought and feeling. You must inhabit the version of yourself who already has, already owns, already experiences the richness of life. This is not fantasy. It is a conscious decision to dwell in the mindset of wealth, regardless of what your outer world currently shows. You are not faking it. You are creating it. And creation always begins in consciousness. When you assume the identity of a wealthy person, your actions begin to align effortlessly with that identity. You speak differently. You think from solutions instead of problems. You carry yourself with a calm confidence that says, I have more than enough. And that assumption, when held faithfully, begins to form patterns in your reality. You begin to see opportunities where before there were only closed doors. You attract people, ideas, and resources that match your inner state. Chasing money implies that it is running from you. It implies separation. But when you shift into the energy of already having, you dissolve that distance. You are no longer chasing, you are magnetizing. You are no longer needy, you are certain. This is the great secret of manifestation. It is not what you do that brings wealth, but who you are being while you do it. You could take the same action from a state of lack and get nothing. But take that same action from a state of abundance, and doors open effortlessly. Because the energy you move with is everything. The world is not responding to your words or your hustle. It is responding to your identity. And your identity is formed by what you consistently feel and believe about yourself. Wealth is a frequency, and your emotions are the tuning fork. When you feel grateful, relaxed, and secure, even without visible riches, you are in harmony with wealth. And when you feel anxious, desperate, or inferior, you are in dissonance with it. That is why it is not about the money itself. It is about the feeling you think the money will bring. So why wait? Feel it now. Live in it now. Embody it now. Destiny is built in your hands in these moments. If you feel it now, live in it now. Embody it now. Live in it now. Walk through life as someone who already knows they are blessed. Speak as someone who already understands their worth. Carry yourself as someone who expects goodness, opportunity, and overflow. This is the essence of wealth. It is not out there, it is within you. And as you persist in this identity, the outer world cannot help but catch up. Circumstances shift, money flows, ideas click, but it is not magic. It is alignment. You have become the one who no longer needs to prove, fight, or beg. You have become the one who simply is abundant. When you truly get this, you stop chasing forever. You no longer ask, when will it come? Instead, you say, it's already mine. You realize that wealth was never the goal. Being wealthy, peacefully, confidently, and naturally was the goal all along. Imagination is the silent architect of your life. It is not a tool reserved for artists or dreamers. It is the divine faculty through which all things are made. What you imagine, especially in the stillness of the night, sets the stage for what you will live tomorrow. The world you see, the events you call coincidence, the opportunities you stumble upon, they all begin within, quietly formed in the realm of thought and feeling. Most people do not understand the power of their imagination. They treat it as fantasy, something childish or irrelevant. But what they fail to see is that everything they have ever experienced began first as an unseen image. Your relationships, your financial status, your health, your daily encounters. All of these are shaped by what you have imagined about life and about yourself. When the noise of the world fades and your body prepares for rest, your imagination becomes most powerful. The conscious mind quiets down and the subconscious opens wide. In this moment, whatever you vividly and emotionally imagine sinks deeply into your being. It becomes a seed planted in fertile soil. And that seed will grow, not because of effort or willpower, but because it was impressed upon the inner mind. The subconscious does not argue. It does not reason. It accepts whatever you present to it with feeling and repetition. So when you imagine yourself wealthy, loved, successful, or healed, with feeling as though it is already true, you are giving the subconscious clear instructions. You are writing the script for the scenes that will play out in your waking life. This is why night is sacred. The moments just before sleep are golden. Whatever you think about, whatever image you hold, whatever emotion you dwell in, these go with you into the deep and begin to shape the patterns of your reality. The mind in this relaxed and impressionable state becomes a vessel. You must choose carefully what you pour into it. If you drift into sleep worrying, doubting, or replaying painful experiences, you are feeding your future with more of the same. But if you deliberately imagine your desires already fulfilled, if you picture your ideal life in full color and feel the joy of it, you are preparing a new reality. The mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It only knows what you feel to be true. And once it accepts that truth, it moves all of creation to bring it into form. The world is not happening by chance, it is happening by design. Your design. Your inner world is the blueprint, and imagination is the architect. You do not need to know how your dream will manifest. That is not your concern. Your only task is to see it clearly, feel it deeply, and persist in that inner vision with confidence. You can imagine anything. There are no limits except the ones you believe. If you want wealth, see yourself already living in it. If you want love, feel yourself already embraced by it. If you want freedom, imagine the life where you already have it. Let your senses join the scene. Hear the sounds, smell the air, feel the emotions. Make it real, and your reality must follow. Do not underestimate what you do in the unseen. The outer world is slow to catch up, but it always does. That is the law. Imagination is not idle. It is not wishful thinking. It is the womb of creation. Each night, before sleep, you are given a brush and a blank canvas. Paint the life you want to live. Let your imagination be bold. Let it be clear. Let it be joyful. And then rest, knowing the masterpiece is already on its way. The feeling is the secret. Not the thought, not the words, not the effort, but the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is the bridge between imagination and reality, between the unseen and the seen. And the most potent time to access this power is just before sleep, when your conscious mind relaxes and your subconscious becomes open and responsive. In that sacred twilight, you are no longer bound by the limitations of logic or external circumstances. You are free to assume the state of your desire, and in doing so, you plant the seed of its fulfillment. Wealth does not begin with a bank account. It begins with a feeling. The feeling of security, of freedom, of comfort. The feeling that you have more than enough, that you are taken care of, supported, and in complete alignment with abundance. If you wish to be wealthy, then you must feel wealthy. Not wish for it, not long for it, but know it to be true from within. There is a distinct difference between hoping for wealth and assuming its presence. Hope says, maybe one day, but knowing says, it is already mine. That inner knowing, that quiet certainty is what reshapes your world. When you lie in bed and close your eyes, do not review the day's troubles, do not replay fears or doubts. Instead, create the scene of your fulfilled desire. Feel the joy of it, the ease, the naturalness of already living in the state you wish to express. Make it real in your mind and let your body respond. How would you breathe if you were already wealthy? How would your body feel as it melted into the mattress, no longer burdened by stress or lack? Would you smile? Would your heart beat calmly with trust and peace? This is how you enter the state of the wish fulfilled. You do not analyze it, you feel it, gently, consistently, deeply. You let it become your dwelling place. This feeling becomes your prayer. And unlike words, which are often hollow, feeling is honest. It speaks directly to the subconscious, and the subconscious listens. It listens and it obeys, because it only ever reflects what you assume to be true. If you persist in feeling poor, anxious, or undeserving, your world will echo that back to you. But if you shift inwardly, even just a little, and begin to feel as though you already are the version of yourself that you desire to be, the world cannot help but change in response. So each night, make this your sacred practice. Let go of the outer world and return to the inner. Enter that silent space where only you and your imagination exist. And there, dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Imagine your home, your lifestyle, your relationships, your freedom. Let the joy of it rise within you. Not forced joy, but the kind that comes from knowing you are already there. You may not yet see the wealth with your eyes, but do not let that concern you. What you see is only a delayed reflection of what you felt yesterday. Focus now on what you wish to feel tomorrow. The world is always becoming what you feel yourself to be. So choose the feeling you desire. Make it your companion. Let it wrap around you like a warm blanket as you drift off to sleep. And when you wake, something will have shifted. You may not be able to name it, but you will feel it. A new calm, a new confidence, a sense that something unseen has been set in motion. And indeed it has. The seed has been planted, the blueprint drawn. Now all that remains is to remain faithful to the feeling. Do not return to doubt. Return to the knowing. The knowing that you already are what you have imagined. The knowing that feeling precedes form. The knowing that wealth is not coming. It is already yours, and your world is simply catching up. Assumption is the doorway through which the invisible becomes visible. To assume the end is to live in the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled. Not someday, not later, but now. You must learn to bypass the logical mind, which constantly asks how, and instead move into the stillness of knowing, where the end result already exists. This is the way creation works. Not through force or struggle, but through the assumption of already being. The world teaches you to plan, to strategize, to figure things out step by step. But manifestation does not require your mind to micromanage the process. In fact, the more you try to control the how, the more resistance you create. Your job is not to worry about the details. Your only task is to dwell in the end result, as if it were already true. You must feel it, believe it, surrender to it. If you want wealth, do not concern yourself with how the money will arrive. Do not count the sources or calculate the ways. All of that is outside your domain. Instead, go within and assume the end. What does it feel like to already have what you desire? To already be living in the lifestyle you once longed for? To already have the freedom, the peace, the opportunities, the choices that abundance brings? That is your work. To feel that state so deeply, so naturally, that the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. The mind will try to interfere. It will say, but I don't see it yet. Or, this doesn't make sense. Or, what if it doesn't happen? Let those thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. Do not dwell on them. Return again and again to the state of the end. Assume it. Own it. Know it. The outer world is slow to respond, but it must respond. It has no choice. Reality is always catching up with your assumption. When you assume the end, you shift your identity. You are no longer someone waiting or hoping. You become the person who already has it. This is the secret. You do not attract what you want. You attract who you are. So if you want wealth, become wealth in feeling. If you want love, become love in being. If you want success, live from the state of already being successful. Let your actions, your tone, your posture, your energy reflect that new version of you. And do this especially in the quiet moments, before sleep, upon waking, during moments of stillness. These are the times when your assumptions sink deepest. In those moments, see the end clearly, feel it fully, rest in it, as though there were nothing more to do. You are not imagining to get it. You are imagining because you already have it. To assume the end is to walk by faith, not by sight. It is to choose conviction over circumstances. Your senses may show you lack, your bank account may show you limits. But you are not moved by these shadows. You are moved only by what you accept as true within. And if you persist in assuming the end, even when all outer evidence contradicts it, you will see the world rearrange itself in perfect alignment. This is not theory. This is law. The inner state precedes the outer experience. So let go of the need to know how. Let go of the timelines, the strategies, the doubts, and assume it is done. Walk, talk, feel, and live from that end. And the bridge of incidents will unfold. Doors will open. People will appear. Events will conspire in ways you never imagined. The how is not your concern. Creation is complete. Your only job is to believe it's already done and remain loyal to that end. Stay there no matter what. The rest will follow. It always does. Repetition is the language of the subconscious. It is not persuaded by logic, debate, or even desire. It is moved by consistent feeling, persistent imagery, and quiet conviction. Every night, as the conscious mind loosens its grip and the world begins to fade, you are offered an open gate, a sacred opportunity to impress your subconscious with what you wish to create. In this moment, your mind is most fertile. What you repeatedly think and feel just before sleep becomes the seed of your future experience. It is not the passing thought during the day that transforms your life. It is the deeply felt idea that you carry into sleep. It is the assumption you make over and over, night after night, until it becomes so natural that the subconscious accepts it as truth. And once accepted, the outer world begins to bend to it. It is law. Your outer world is nothing more than the harvest of inner repetition. If you wish to change your life, do not underestimate the power of the final 5 minutes before you drift into unconsciousness. In those few quiet minutes, the gate is wide open. The guard of logic is drowsy and your inner world is malleable, receptive, alive. This is not the time to worry, fear, or replay what went wrong. This is the time to gently, lovingly, repeatedly feel the state you desire to live in. Whatever you impress consistently upon the subconscious, it will express. It may not happen instantly, but it will come. Just as a seed planted in soil does not bloom overnight, your thoughts must be nurtured with repetition. One night of imagining is not enough. If you return to doubt the next day, you must persist. You must feel it, see it, and know it to be true again and again, until it becomes a part of you. Think of a sculptor shaping clay. It is not one touch that forms the masterpiece, but many. Stroke by stroke, repetition by repetition, the vision within becomes the form without. Your imagination works the same way. When you imagine something nightly, when you allow the same feeling to rise, the same scene to unfold, it begins to solidify. The subconscious receives it, believes it, and reflects it in your reality. This is why so many remain stuck in cycles they do not want, because they are unknowingly repeating the wrong images before sleep. They go to bed in a state of fear, lack, or frustration and wonder why the next day mirrors the same energy. But change the nightly story, and you change the waking experience. Shift the repetition, and the reality must follow. Do not worry if you cannot visualize every detail. What matters is the feeling. Feel the peace of abundance. Feel the joy of fulfillment. Feel the security of being supported, chosen, successful, free. Let these feelings become familiar, like a favorite song played on repeat. The more you return to them, the deeper they go. Let your nightly routine become a sacred ritual. Lie still, breathe deeply, and turn inward. Imagine the end result of your desire, not vaguely but clearly. See yourself already in possession of it. Hear the conversations you would hear. Feel the satisfaction, the relief, the pride. And most importantly, do this not just once, but night after night. Let it become a gentle obsession, not of desperation, but of knowing. Soon, the repetition will no longer feel like effort. It will become natural. You will begin to believe without trying. And that is when the subconscious accepts the suggestion. That is when it takes over and begins to move circumstances, people, and events to match what you have planted. The world outside has no choice but to conform to the world within. Every night, the gate opens. You are the sower. Choose the seeds wisely. Repeat the desired feeling until it becomes truth to you. And watch as your life blooms in its image. And so we come to the end of this sacred reminder. A return to truth. A reawakening of the power that has always been within you. You now understand that wealth is not something you chase, but something you embody. It is a state of being, born from imagination, nurtured through feeling, and brought to life through repetition. Your outer world is not a cause, it is an effect. The root lies within you, in what you dare to assume, in what you feel to be true, in what you persist in night after night. Every evening as the world quiets and your eyes grow heavy, the gate to creation opens. You have been gifted this doorway to the subconscious. Use it wisely before sleep, dwell in the end. Feel the wish fulfilled. Become the version of yourself that already lives in abundance. Do not concern yourself with how. It is already done. Believe that it is. Know that it is. Rest in that truth. Let the repetition of these inner visions create the life you desire. Let your imagination be your sanctuary, your workshop, your world. For what you continually accept within must one day be expressed without. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting in the unseen, for daring to believe in the power that shapes all things. May your nights be filled with vision, your heart with peace, and your life with the evidence of what you have already claimed in spirit. Now go and assume it is done. There is a stillness, a sacred knowing that waits patiently behind your thoughts. It does not strive, it does not argue, and it does not beg. It simply is. This presence, this quiet power, is what you call God, and to put everything in God's hand is to finally understand that what you have been seeking through effort is already held in completion by grace. To put everything in God's hand is not to abandon your dreams, but to place them in the most capable care. It is to say, I no longer carry this burden. I no longer chase what is mine. I simply dwell in the end, in the fulfilled state, and trust the unseen hand that governs all things. You must realize your imagination is sacred. It is not mere fantasy. It is the language through which God speaks. The moment you imagine a desire fulfilled and feel its truth as though it were now, that is the moment you've handed it over to the Creator within. You do not need to know how it will come. You do not need to force doors open. The oak tree does not beg the sun to rise. It simply trusts its growth is assured. In the same way, your job is to plant the seed in your imagination and let God water it with divine timing. Let go of worry. Let go of effort that stems from fear. Trust that the hand which shaped the stars also shapes your destiny. When you feel fear, remind yourself, this is not mine to figure out. This is God's to finish. And in that surrender, you gain everything. Do not mistake passivity for powerlessness. To rest in faith is the greatest act of courage. The world may urge you to hustle, to chase, to prove, but the soul whispers, be still and know. Put your dreams, your needs, your relationships, your finances, all of it in God's hand, not with desperation, but with confidence. Walk as though it is done, speak as though it is yours, and feel as though you already have it. Because once you put it in God's hand, it is. Surrender is not giving up. It is giving over to the higher power within. And that distinction changes everything. Most people hear the word surrender and immediately associate it with weakness, with quitting, or with admitting defeat. But true surrender is the most courageous act a person can perform. It is not about walking away from your desire. It is about walking deeper into faith. It is about knowing, beyond reason and evidence, that the power that breathed life into you did not do so to abandon you. When you surrender, you are not discarding your dream. You are not denying your hope. You are not turning your back on your future. You are placing it gently, trustingly, into the hands of the infinite intelligence that already knows the way. It is the difference between rowing upstream with all your might, exhausted and disheartened, versus laying down the oar and allowing the current to take you where you were meant to go. This higher power within you does not require your struggle to bring forth what you desire. It requires your permission. It requires your trust. The mind, trained by the world, believes it must force everything into being. It believes it must manipulate, control, calculate, and constantly do to achieve anything worthwhile. But the soul knows. The soul understands that all things are already finished, that every possibility already exists, that the path to your highest joy is not something you build with effort, but something you uncover through faith. To surrender is to recognize that your personal will is limited, but divine will is boundless. And when you align with that divine will, not by pleading, but by assuming, it works on your behalf. You stop fighting life and start flowing with it. You stop doubting the outcome and start dwelling in the end result. The very act of letting go allows the unseen forces of life to begin their silent orchestration. Imagine for a moment holding tightly onto something in your hand. Your grip is clenched. Your knuckles are white. Your whole body is tense. That is how many live, with clenched hearts and anxious thoughts, afraid that if they loosen their grip even for a moment, everything will fall apart. But here is the truth. Life flows when you open your hand. When you stop trying to make it happen and instead trust that it is happening right now in the invisible, because you dare to believe. When you surrender, you shift from fear to faith, from lack to fulfillment, from striving to resting. Not because you have no power, but because you finally recognize where your true power comes from. It was never from control. It was always from connection. When you are connected to the source of all life, there is nothing to fear. What is for you cannot miss you. What is yours spiritually must reveal itself physically once you surrender the need to chase it. Surrender is a sacred invitation. It says to the universe, I trust you. I know you have heard me. I know my desire was planted not to torment me, but to be fulfilled through me. I do not need to worry. I do not need to fix. I do not need to beg. I only need to remain in the state of having. and let the divine hand take care of the details. This is not passivity, it is spiritual mastery. The strongest soul is the one who knows when to act and when to release, who knows when to speak and when to rest in silence, and above all, who knows that surrender is not the end of a journey, it is the beginning of miracles. Imagination is the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. Entrust it to the divine. Within you lies a sacred power that most ignore, dismiss, or misunderstand. This power is not physical. It does not reside in your hands or in your voice. It resides in your inner world, your imagination. And yet, this invisible faculty shapes the very reality you walk through. It is not fantasy. It is not make-believe. It is creation in its purest form. Everything you see in the world, every structure, invention, work of art, every achievement was once a seed planted in someone's imagination. That's how powerful it is. It is the first cause, the original source, the blueprint from which the material world is built. And when you understand that your imagination is a sacred bridge, not merely a playground of the mind, everything changes. Desire alone is not enough. Wanting something is not enough. It is only when you dare to see it, to feel it, to inhabit it in your imagination as though it were real, that you begin the true process of manifestation. The mistake most make is believing they must do everything with physical effort. They ignore the inner world and trust only what they can see with their eyes and touch with their hands. But the eyes and hands are instruments. They are not the source. The source is invisible. The origin is unseen. And imagination is how you reach it. When you imagine something clearly and feel it deeply, you impress it upon the divine mind within. You hand it over, not with doubt, not with questions, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows it is already done. You must understand, you were never meant to figure everything out with logic. The rational mind is limited. It operates only by past experiences and current senses. But imagination is limitless. It exists outside of time. It can take you to the end result before one single thing changes in your world. And when you dwell in the end, in the fulfilled state, you bring the future into the now. This is not illusion, it is creation. To see yourself as already healthy, already loved, already successful, already free, is to walk the bridge before the path appears under your feet. And you do not walk alone. Once you entrust this vision to the divine, meaning once you accept it as true within, you activate unseen forces. Doors open, people shift, events move, not because you pushed, but because you believe. Most people abandon the power of imagination too soon. They start to picture the life they want, but then quickly return to worrying, doubting, fearing. They allow the evidence of the senses to erase the truth they briefly held within. But to imagine is to plant a seed, and once it is planted, it must be watered, not with doubt, but with trust. You water it by revisiting it, by feeling it, by thanking the divine for it before. You must understand how sacred your inner world is. Every thought, every image, every scene you accept as true becomes part of your spiritual signature. And what you persist in imagining, you eventually experience. This is not hope. It is law. The law of consciousness. The law of becoming. So the invitation is this. Close your eyes. Enter that silent space within. Picture the life you want, not as something distant, but as something already real. Walk in it. Feel it, touch it, speak from it. And when you rise, do not worry about how it will come. That part is not yours. Your role is to imagine and deliver. Imagination is not a tool of escape. It is the gateway of transformation. It is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Entrust it to the divine, and watch your life unfold in ways that logic could never explain. Your true self is not separate from God. You're the vessel through which God operates. This is not just a comforting idea, it is the eternal truth of your being. You were not created to live apart from the divine, struggling on your own, praying to a distant power that may or may not hear you. You were created as an extension of that power. The life of God breathes through you, thinks through you, speaks through you. You are not merely human trying to reach God. You are God awareness, clothed in human form. This truth does not elevate the ego, it dissolves it. It silences the noise of striving and reminds you that all you seek is already within you. You are not empty, searching for fullness. You are already full, simply waking up to what has always been true. The moment you grasp this, everything in your life begins to change. Not because your outer world shifts first, but because your perception does. To believe you are separate from God is the root of all fear. It is the birthplace of anxiety, desperation, and lack. It is what causes people to plead, to beg, to chase after peace that seems just out of reach. But when you know that God is not somewhere far away but closer than your breath, you stop seeking, you start expressing, you stop begging for answers, and start trusting that the answers move through you. You are not meant to live life hoping that something good might happen. You are meant to realize that the very source of goodness lives in you. Every time you imagine with faith, speak with conviction, or feel something as already real, it is not you acting alone. It is God acting as you. You are the channel, the vessel, the doorway through which the infinite enters the finite world. But to be that vessel, you must clear the noise. You must strip away the layers of doubt and limitation that the world has placed upon you. The world will try to tell you that you are small, broken, and lacking. But the truth is, you are divine substance. You are awareness itself. You are not separate from the Creator. You are its expression. Look at the seed and the tree. The seed is small, quiet, unnoticed, but within it is the potential of something vast and powerful. You too hold within you the seed of all that God is: love, abundance, healing, wisdom, peace. They are not things you need to go find. They are things you need to remember. And the way you remember is by turning inward. Stop waiting for signs. You are the sign. Stop waiting for permission. You are the authority. When you choose to think in alignment with love instead of fear, you become the mirror of God. When you choose to imagine the best, speak with grace, and walk with faith, you become the expression of God in form. This is not arrogance. It is humility at the highest level. To surrender the illusion of separateness and allow your life to be used by something greater. When you say, I and the Father are one, you are not claiming superiority. You are returning to truth. You are affirming that you no longer operate from the mind of the world, but from the mind of spirit. Every day becomes holy. Every thought becomes sacred. Every moment becomes a chance to let God move through you, not by force, but by allowing. Let yourself be the vessel. Let yourself be the expression. Let go of the old story that says you're alone, and step into the story that's always been written. You and God are not two. There is only one, and that one is living its life in and through you. What you feel is real in the unseen you place gently in the hands of the eternal. This is the sacred art of creation, not by force, not by struggle, but by inner conviction and quiet surrender. The world will tell you that what is unseen is uncertain, that what you cannot prove with your senses is not real, but the truth is exactly the opposite. What you feel deeply in the stillness of your being, in the silence of your imagination, is more powerful than anything you can grasp with your hands. You do not manifest by hoping. You do not create by begging. You do so by feeling, deeply and truly, as if the unseen were already here. The moment you dare to feel something is real before your eyes can confirm it, you have touched the realm of the eternal. This is not fantasy. It is faith. Faith is not merely believing something might happen one day. Faith is the knowing that what you have felt, what you have accepted as true within, is already yours. And once you feel it, once you experience the fullness of that unseen reality within, you don't chase it. You don't question it. You don't fight for it. You release it. You place it gently, confidently, into the hands of the eternal presence within you, and you rest. You allow it to unfold in its perfect time and way. You no longer carry the weight of how or when, because those are not your responsibilities. Your only task is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to walk in that inner assurance until the outer world aligns with what you already know to be true. There is something sacred about feeling without seeing. It is the highest form of trust. It says to the infinite, I believe you, I know you, I feel you, and that is enough. When you move through life in this way, your heart is no longer troubled by appearances. The world may offer delay, but you no longer call it denial. You know that once a thing is accepted within, it begins to take shape without. Everything in the material world is downstream. What you see, hear, and touch is the echo, not the origin. The origin is always within. And when you claim something as yours in the unseen, when you dwell in the state of already having, you shift your identity. You begin to live from that higher state of consciousness. And the eternal responds, not because it was ever withholding from you, but because you finally became aligned with what you were asking for. Imagine a child giving their parent a drawing, something precious to them. They hand it over, not with fear, but with complete trust that the parent will receive it, keep it safe, honor its value. In the same way, when you place your desire into the hands of the eternal, you are not abandoning it, you are entrusting it. You are saying, I have done my part, now I let the higher intelligence do what only it can do. And this trust, this surrender, is not weakness, it is the highest strength. It is knowing who you are and what you are connected to. It is no longer needing outer proof to feel inner peace. It is allowing the rhythm of divine timing to take over. So do not rush. Do not panic. Do not keep digging up your seed to see if it has sprouted. Feel it has done. Be still. Let the unseen do its perfect work. What you have planted in faith, you will harvest in joy. What you have felt is real, you have handed to the eternal. And the eternal never forgets, never delays, and never fails. Anxiety is a signal that you are trying to do with force what must be done in faith. It is the unease that arises when the mind assumes control over what the spirit was always meant to carry. When you feel anxious, it is not simply a reaction to circumstances. It is a deep inner alarm, reminding you that you have stepped out of alignment. You have begun to lean on effort, on logic, on human limitation, instead of resting in the infinite ease of divine order. Force is rooted in fear. It believes that if you don't act fast enough, hard enough, something will fall apart. It clings, it grabs, it demands. Faith, on the other hand, is rooted in knowing. It moves from a calm inner assurance that what is for you cannot miss you. It does not rush, it does not panic. It trusts the unseen more than it fears the visible. Anxiety cannot exist in the presence of that kind of faith. So when anxiety comes, pause. Do not fight it, but listen. It is trying to tell you something sacred. It is revealing to you the very place where you have stopped trusting. It's pointing to the area in your life where you've taken the burden from the divine and placed it on your own shoulders. You are not meant to carry the how, the when, or the details of unfolding. Your task is to imagine, to feel, to believe, and then to release. To try to force an outcome is to forget who you are. You are not a creature desperate to survive. You are the consciousness that shapes worlds. You were never meant to operate by fear-based reaction. You are designed to move in quiet, deliberate faith. You are meant to live as one who knows that every desire comes with its own path to fulfillment. You do not have to create the path. You only need to align with the state of being that matches what you've asked for. Imagine a person trying to open a flower by prying it apart with their hands. In their desperation to see it bloom, they ruin its beauty. But the flower opens on its own, in the warmth of light, with no force, no worry. So it is with your desires. They do not need your panic, they need your presence. They need you to be still long enough to allow what you've planted in spirit to blossom in time. The mind will scream that nothing is happening. The ego will say you must do more, push harder, prove your worth. But faith whispers, be still. It is already done. And if you can trust that whisper more than the world's noise, you will walk in peace, even before the evidence arrives. Understand this. Your anxiety does not mean you are weak. It means you care. It means you long for something so deeply that your soul aches in the waiting. But care does not require control. Love does not require grasping. You can hold the vision, feel the joy, imagine the best, and then step back and let the divine orchestrate it. If the bird never worries about its next flight, if the stars do not stress about shining, why must you? Are you not more than they? You are connected to the source of all that is good, all that is possible, and that source does not operate in panic. It operates in peace. So breathe. Loosen your grip. Stop trying to force what must be received. Let anxiety remind you not that you are off track, but that it is time to return to the truth, to trust again, to feel again, to walk by faith, not sight. What you desire is already yours in the unseen. And when you rest in that knowing, you no longer chase, it comes to you. When you release control, the power that created the universe takes over your affairs. This is not poetic metaphor, it is spiritual law. The same intelligence that causes the stars to burn, the planets to orbit, the tides to rise and fall, is not separate from you. It lives in you, breathes through you, and waits for your surrender. But it does not force its way in. It waits until you loosen your grip, until you stop trying to manipulate the outer and allow the inner to lead. Control is the illusion that you must hold everything together. It's the lie whispered by fear, convincing you that if you don't push, strive, and overthink, life will fall apart. But look at nature. Does the tree force itself to grow? Does the moon wrestle to reflect the sun? All things flourish when they are aligned, not when they are controlled. You were not created to live in resistance. You are made to live in harmony with divine order. The truth is, the tighter you hold, the more things slip through your fingers. The more you obsess over how and when, the further you move from the natural flow of manifestation. It's not because the universe is withholding. It's because your grip has become a barrier. Surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the sacred act of turning your burdens over to something far greater than your limited understanding. You may think letting go means doing nothing, but that is not true. Letting go means doing the inner work, feeling the reality of your desire, aligning with its vibration, trusting that the unseen is working in your favor. It means stepping into the day with calm confidence, acting when inspired, and resting when prompted. It is living in the rhythm of grace instead of the chaos of control. When you surrender, you stop asking life to prove itself to you and begin responding as if what you desire is already done. You change your posture from one of worry to one of expectation. You stop trying to convince the world and start living as though the answer is already on its way. Because it is. The moment you imagined it, it was created in the unseen. Your surrender is what allows it to unfold into form. The universe does not need your stress. It doesn't respond to panic. It responds to peace. It aligns with the one who trusts. When you let go, when you release control, you say to the divine, I know you've got this. And in that sacred trust, you create space. Space for miracles, space for better timing, space for outcomes more beautiful than your limited plans could ever conceive. This is the paradox. The more you try to force life, the more it resists. The moment you stop forcing, it begins to move. Just like water, the flow of life moves best when unblocked. And what blocks it? Fear, doubt, control. But what opens it wide? Faith, joy, ease. You do not have to figure it all out. You are not the architect of every detail. You are the dreamer, the feeler, the vessel. Your job is to feel it real, to move as though it is done, and to trust the rest to the infinite. And once you do that, once you truly surrender, doors open, people appear, circumstances align. You are no longer operating on your own strength. You are carried by a force that never tires, never sleeps, and never forgets what you asked for. So release control, not because you've given up, but because you finally remembered who is really in charge. You are not alone. You never were. Let go, and let the one who designed galaxies take care of your next step. When you release control, the power that created the universe begins to move in ways that leave no doubt. It was never just you. When you finally place everything in God's hands, you do not lose power, you awaken to it. You stop forcing and you start flowing. You begin to understand that true strength is not found in control, but in surrender. That your imagination is not fantasy, but the sacred bridge between the unseen and the seen. That the anxiety you feel is not your enemy, but your reminder to return to faith. You realize you were never separate from the source. You were never meant to carry it all. You were meant to trust, to feel, and to receive. The moment you let go, divine power moves. It orchestrates, aligns, and delivers what no effort could ever accomplish. This is not passivity. It is partnership with the infinite. Read deeper. Hold your vision closer. And rest in the knowing that the same presence that designed the stars is now guiding your path. Thank you for listening. May you walk in peace, trust in the unseen, and remember always, you are never alone. knowing it is already done. Just as the seed does not panic in the soil, neither do you panic in the unseen. It is finished. I receive it now, not tomorrow, not next month. Now, because the only time is now, and the only place is within. Say these words while feeling them. That is the only condition. If you speak with doubt, you delay the promise. If you speak with certainty, you collapse time. Do not explain. Do not justify. Do not question. Just declare. These words are keys. They unlock what you call impossible, because the moment you say them with faith, the universe moves. You will see the signs. You will receive the message. You will feel the shift. Not because you hoped, but because you knew. Let no one talk you out of it. Let no appearance distract you. Let no delay deceive you. Say it again. It is already mine. It is finished. I receive it now. And watch. In one day, it will be done. Every word you speak carries a vibration, a pattern, a command. It may seem like a fleeting sound, quickly vanishing into the air, but its impact is eternal. Words are not just sounds you release. They are seeds you sow, and the field they fall upon is the infinite, fertile ground of your subconscious mind. When you speak, you are not merely communicating with others, you are instructing reality. Each word holds within it the blueprint of an outcome. The moment it is spoken, with belief, it is planted in the unseen and begins its silent, inevitable growth. Now consider this. If you speak with frustration, with defeat, with fear, those words do not simply express how you feel. They begin to form the world you will soon inhabit. You are not reporting your experience, you are predicting it. You are not describing the world, you are creating it. Just as a seed contains a tree in potential, so too does a word contain a reality in potential. Say, I'm always broke, and that is the crop that will rise in your life. Say, nothing ever works out for me, and watch life bring forth every event needed to confirm your declaration, not because life is cruel, but because it is obedient. Because the subconscious mind does not judge what you plant, it simply brings it to life. If you were to shift, if you were to begin to speak, not from the echo of your past, but from the vision of your desire, everything would change. A new harvest would begin. Speak words of love, and love begins to return. Speak words of abundance, and abundance takes root. Speak words of peace, and your world bends toward calm. There's no magic. This is law. And it is always working, whether you are aware of it or not. You are always planting. The question is, what are you planting? You may walk through the garden of your life today and see disappointment, lack, and confusion. But understand this, those are yesterday's seeds made visible. Do not curse the garden for producing what you unknowingly planted. Instead, bless it for revealing what was hidden, and begin again. This time, with intention. When a farmer sows seed, he does not do so randomly. He selects the seed carefully, knowing that what he puts in the ground will determine what comes out. He tends the soil, waters it daily, and protects it from harm. He never doubts that the seed will grow. He does not dig it up to check. He trusts the process. He knows the harvest must come because he has planted in faith. So must you treat your words. Choose them with care, speak them with conviction, repeat them with joy, and protect them from the weeds of doubt and fear. Every time you say, I am powerful, you water a seed of strength. Every time you say, I am blessed, you nourish a future filled with divine alignment. Every time you say, things always work in my favor, you are laying the bricks of a reality that must rise to match your declaration. It does not matter what the outer world looks like. The soil does not care if the sun is shining or the clouds are overhead. The soil only responds to what has been planted. So too does your life respond to what you consistently say. Speak as if your words are sacred tools, because they are. Speak as though the universe is listening, because it is. Speak not from your history, but from your vision, because the past cannot produce anything new, but your words can. You are your life is the field, and your words are the seeds. Be intentional, be aware, and most of all, believe. Because once spoken with faith, your words must become flesh. There is a secret embedded in creation, one that the world often overlooks. Words alone are not enough. Words are the seed, but feeling is the fertile soil in which the seed must fall. Without feeling, your words are like seeds thrown on concrete. They may be powerful in potential, but they cannot take root. They cannot grow. They cannot become. To speak without emotion is to recite, to repeat, to echo, but not to create. The true creative power lies not just in what you say, but in how deeply you feel it as true. You must embody the energy of your words. You must live inside them emotionally before you ever see them physically. The universe does not respond to empty phrases. It responds to the energy behind those phrases. When you declare, I am wealthy but feel poor, the energy contradicts the language. When you say, I am loved but feel lonely, your subconscious is confused, divided, and it is the feeling that always wins. The subconscious does not respond to surface words. It responds to your inner state. That is the language of the infinite. When you speak as if something is already done, and you feel the joy, the relief, the gratitude of that truth, something shifts. The outer world may not yet reflect the change, but inside you, a seed has been planted in rich, living soil. And that feeling, that inner movement, is the sign that manifestation is already underway. It is not about pretending, it is about assuming. You assume the state of the wish fulfilled. You speak not from hope or desire, but from fulfillment. You say, thank you, not because you are wishing to receive, but because you know you already have. Gratitude is the feeling of having. And the moment you truly feel you have, you activate the law of creation. This is why some people repeat affirmations for months with no result. They say the right words but feel lack. They speak about abundance but carry fear. They affirm love but feel unworthy. And so the words remain lifeless, like seeds stored in a drawer, never touching the soil of belief. But when you begin to speak with emotion, when your voice carries the vibration of truth, your words are no longer weak. They become alive. They move mountains. They dissolve resistance. They begin attracting to you the people, situations, and events that match the feeling you now embody. This is why conviction matters. Conviction is not loudness or force. It is inner certainty. When you declare something with the knowing that it already is, life must rearrange itself to reflect that knowing. What you feel deeply and consistently becomes impressed upon the subconscious mind, and the subconscious governs everything. It does not argue. It does not reason. It accepts. So, if you wish to change your life, change how you feel when you speak. Don't just say, I am healthy. Feel the strength in your body as you say it. Don't just say, I am successful. Feel the calm satisfaction of having already achieved it. Don't just say, I am free. Feel the lightness, the joy, the ease. The stronger the feeling, the faster the manifestation. Feeling is not secondary, it is central. It is the life force behind your word. It is the divine spark that causes the invisible to become visible. So, the next time you speak, pause for a moment, breathe, close your eyes if you must, and feel it. Let the words rise from the core of your being, not just your lips. Speak not from emptiness, but from fullness, from the deep inner place where what you desire is already real. When you do this, when word and feeling become one, you become unstoppable. Because then and only then do your words take root. And once they do, they grow with divine speed. The only time that truly exists is now. The past is memory. The future is imagination. Yet most people speak and think as if they live in some distant one day, and so their desires remain trapped in that illusion of delay. The creative power of the mind does not operate in the future. It operates in the now. That is why present tense thinking and speaking is not just important, it is everything. When you say, I will have, you have already pushed your desire out of reach. I will be successful. I will find love. I will be healed. These statements sound positive, but they are declarations of absence. You are confirming that right now you do not have, you do not experience, and you are still waiting. And as long as you wait, you delay, because your subconscious mind does not understand the future. It only responds to what is felt and believed in this moment. To say, I now have, is to pull the future into the present. It is to embody the end result. You are no longer hoping, wishing, or waiting, you are claiming. And what you claim as yours, with inner conviction, must begin to take form. This is the power of speaking in the present tense. It is not just grammar, it is creation. Your words shape your internal reality, and your internal reality molds the outer world. When you consistently say, I am, rather than I will be, you tell your subconscious, this is who I am now, and the subconscious must act accordingly. It begins shifting your perceptions, your behaviors, your energy, and even the people and situations around you, all to align with what you have accepted as true in the present. You see, to manifest is to occupy a state of being. It's not about chasing after things, it's about assuming you already are the person who has them. That is the secret. You don't become wealthy by saying, I will be rich someday. You become wealthy by saying, I am rich now. And feeling the reality of that will so deeply that your entire being conforms to it, brings it home. The more often you speak from the place of the fulfilled desire, the more naturally your life reorganizes to mirror that inner conviction. You become the cause, not the effect, the creator, not the victim, the origin, not the outcome. So let go of soon, let go of one day, let go of I hope to. These are the language of delay. Instead, speak in the now, live in the now, declare it now, because now is all you have, and it's also all you need. The present moment is where creation happens. It is the point of power. And the more fully you stand in it, the faster your desires become real. Because once you believe it is already done, the world has no choice but to catch up. The mind is shaped not by what you hear once, but by what you hear repeatedly. Repetition is the chisel that carves new identity into the subconscious. It is not simply the act of saying something over and over. It is the consistent return to a chosen truth, until it is no longer questioned. And once that truth takes root, reality begins to obey it. What you repeat becomes impressed. Just as water shapes rock through continual flow, your words shape the landscape of your inner world through continual declaration. The subconscious mind is always listening, always receiving, and always accepting what is said with emotion and persistence. It does not argue. It does not reason. It simply says yes to whatever is repeated with feeling. If you repeat lack becomes your experience. If you repeat fear, fear begins to govern your world. But if you repeat love, abundance, success, wholeness, those states begin to dominate. Not because you force them into existence, but because you impress them deeply enough that the subconscious began to express them effortlessly. See, the first time you say, I am powerful, your conscious mind may resist. You may feel like you're lying. You may feel doubt or conflict. But if you say it again and again and again, while breathing, while relaxing, while imagining it as true, the resistance begins to dissolve. The statement becomes less foreign, less strange, and eventually it begins to feel natural. That shift, that sacred moment when the affirmation no longer feels like a wish, but like a fact, is the moment manifestation begins. This is why you must be persistent, not frantic, not forceful, but faithful, steady, calm, like a sculptor returning each day to the same block of marble, trusting that each touch reveals more of the form within. Every repetition is a movement deeper. Every word spoken again is a step closer to embodiment. Do not be discouraged if nothing appears to happen at first. Repetition works beneath the surface. You are rewiring pathways, shifting patterns, building a new self-concept. And once your subconscious accepts a new truth, life adjusts to fit it. Not by magic, but by law. The law of consciousness, the law of assumption, the law of identity. And this is the sacred reason repetition matters, because your outer life cannot exceed the boundaries of your inner belief. You cannot live above the truth you hold inside. So if you wish to rise, you must elevate what you repeat. Speak only what you want to see. Declare only what you choose to become. And do it again and again until you no longer need to remind yourself, because it will have become who you are. The mind learns by rhythm, the body responds to pattern, the spirit awakens through remembrance. So remember who you are daily. Return to your truth hourly. Whisper it in silence, declare it in stillness, speak it before sleep, affirm it upon waking, and do not grow weary, for the harvest is certain. You are reprogramming the most powerful creative force in existence, your imagination, your belief, your identity. Do not underestimate the quiet power of repetition. It has built empires. It has changed lives. It has transformed ordinary minds into channels of the divine. One thought, returned to consistently, can rebuild a lifetime. One phrase, spoken with conviction each day, can shift the course of your destiny. So speak what you choose to be, and keep speaking it until the world has no choice but to echo your inner truth. Because what you repeat becomes impressed, and what is impressed must be expressed. The greatest battle is not with the world outside of you. It is with the story you keep telling yourself, the one you repeat in your mind, in your conversations, in your inner dialogue. That story becomes your life. And if you want to change your life, you must silence the old and boldly declare the new. Stop rehearsing the old story. Stop justifying your limitations, explaining your pain, or repeating what went wrong. Every time you speak of what hurt you, what failed, what they did, what you lost, or why it's difficult, you breathe new life into a reality you are trying to leave behind. The old story cannot go if you keep inviting it. Let it be silent. Not because it didn't happen, but because it no longer defines you. You do not grow by analyzing what went wrong. You grow by announcing what is now right. You do not heal by circling the wound. You heal by imagining the wholeness. The more you entertain the old identity, the more you remain bound by it. So stop giving it your voice. Stop explaining it. Stop defending it. Silence it. And then declare the new. Declare it not as a hope, not as a wish, but as an unshakable truth. Speak it as though it were already real. Say, I am chosen. Say, I am successful. Say, I walk in abundance. Speak it with no hesitation, no apology, no explanation. You are not here to argue with the facts of the old life. You are here to create the truth of the new one. And truth, when spoken with authority, rearranges reality. Do not argue with your current conditions. They are not permanent. They are only echoes of your previous beliefs. Do not plead with them. Do not resist them. Acknowledge them if you must, but then rise above them. Speak as if the new world is already here, because in the realm of consciousness, it is. You must learn to speak as the person you are becoming, not as the one you have been. This is not pretending, it is creating. The power is not in what you see, but in what you declare. Every word you speak is a mold into which life must pour itself. So choose your words as if they are law, because they are. Your word is law in your world. You are not a reporter of life. You are not here to describe what is. You are here to decide what will be. The moment you stop repeating the old narrative and begin to claim the new one, your mind begins to shift. Your body begins to respond, and the world begins to align. You do not have to explain how it will happen. You only have to believe that it is. Your authority comes from your imagination. Your power lies in your ability to feel the unseen and speak it as reality. This is how mountains move. This is how timelines shift. This is how the impossible becomes the inevitable. So silence the old, let it fall away without a fight. You owe no loyalty to the version of yourself that was surviving. You are not here to maintain the familiar. You are here to manifest the divine. Declare what is true for you now. Declare it daily. Declare it boldly. Declare it until the world forgets the old you ever existed. There is only one voice that must be heard. Yours. The voice that does not tremble, that does not beg, that does not delay. The voice that commands, that claims, that creates. That voice is yours. And when you speak the new story, when you hold it like a sword in the face of doubt, when you refuse to retreat into what was, everything begins to change. Not someday, but now. Because nothing is more powerful than a mind that has decided. The old is over, and the new is already here. There are words that do more than inspire, words that do more than comfort. There are words that carry creative authority, powerful phrases that, when spoken with certainty, reconfigure the unseen world to reflect your inner command. These are not idle affirmations. They are not mere hopeful phrases. They are spiritual decrees. spoken not to beg, but to create. When you speak these words with belief, with presence, with the full weight of your inner conviction, they do not float aimlessly into the void. They land, they take root, and they go to work, unseen, rearranging the conditions of your life in silence and in speed. These words act like spiritual blueprints. What you declare with authority, the invisible world begins to build. You must understand that the universe does not respond to your pleas. It responds to your assumptions. It does not obey fear or indecision. It obeys inner authority. That authority is not granted by anyone outside of you. It comes from within, and it is activated through your voice, through what you say and how you say it. There are phrases that ignite change immediately when spoken with faith. Phrases like, "It is done," "I now have," "I am." These are not simple statements, they are doorways. Each time you speak them with feeling, you step into a new identity. And when your identity shifts, everything around you must follow. The world always mirrors the state you live from, not the one you wish for, but the one you claim. When you say, "It is done," you are not hoping, "It will be done." You are not doubting, "It might be done." You are commanding, "It is done." This is the language of creation. It leaves no room for hesitation, no space for the old story to linger. It declares the end from the beginning, and it trusts that life will rise to meet the declaration. Words are not weak. Words are not just sounds in the air. They are vibrations that match the frequency of what you call into being. If you say, "I am loved," the universe must deliver experiences that reflect love. If you say, "I am successful," even when the outer world looks barren, life begins working behind the curtain to fulfill that inner command. The truth is, most people are speaking words that disempower them. They say, "I can't," "I don't know how," "maybe one day." These are not just statements, they are creative orders. Spoken often enough, they become law in the world of the speaker. So if you are going to use your voice, and you always are, use it to build what you want. Train yourself to speak with deliberate power. Do not allow casual language to sabotage your vision. Speak as a master. Speak as a creator. Declare your day before it begins. Declare your abundance before you see it. Declare your healing before it manifests. These are not lies, they are acts of faith. And faith is the evidence of things not seen. The most powerful words are not spoken with force. They are spoken with knowing, with peace, with stillness. You do not need to shout. You do not need to convince anyone. When you know it within, your words carry that silent certainty, and the world obeys certainty. So speak only what you wish to see. Speak it often, speak it boldly, speak it quietly if you must, but speak it with belief. And then let go of the how. Let the words do their work. Let them echo into the unseen. Gather what you have called for and return it to you in divine timing. Not because you hoped, but because you knew. There are words that create. Find them, live them, speak them, and watch as your world bends to meet the reality your voice has claimed. When you begin to understand the true power of your world, you will no longer speak carelessly. You will no longer speak from fear, from doubt, or from lack. You will speak with clarity, with faith, and with knowing. Every word you utter becomes a thread in the fabric of your future. Every phrase you declare becomes a seed that grows into form. You have been given the power to create, not by force, but by focus, not by striving, but by speaking. Say only what you desire to see. Feel it is done. Speak it in the present. Repeat it until it becomes your truth. Silence the old story and declare the new. And above all, remember, the words you speak with belief are not hopes. They are laws to the unseen. Now go. Speak as the one who knows it is already theirs. Because it is. Thank you.